all probability, he is simply lonely. We can relieve his anxiety through socialization.
Be my guest.
Excuse me, Lieutenant. You seem to have lost the will to communicate with others. You have friends here. We care about you. Why, just recently, Geordie Wesley and I were saying...
With all due respect, be gone! Sir.
Welcome, everybody, to Deep Space Pride, a gay Star Trek podcast. My name is Mike. I am one of your hosts, and with me is Johnson, my co-host. Johnson.
Hi.
It's Wednesday.
Hi, Mike.
How are you?
It is Wednesday. I am doing okay. How about yourself? You are low energy today.
I am low energy.
Though I could
today,
not
yes.
have been able to tell with your riveting intro to our podcast episode today.
There we go. See, I bring it for the show. Once we get into this. Yeah.
Make it.
That is right. How is your Wednesday?
It's okay. I was relatively productive, which is good. And I had some meetings canceled last minute, which is always a little amazing because I can do work and instead of being stuck in endless Zoom meetings. So I would say it was a good day for me overall. What about you? How was your work day?
It was fine. Nothing too exciting. I would say that I'm suffering a little bit of the Wednesday woes, but
is that really a thing?
No, it's not a thing. I just made it up.
Shit up. Yeah.
I am just making shit up.
Great.
To describe my Wednesday, yes. And I told you about this. I ordered a pizza for delivery for lunch.
Oh, yes. The epic pizza story. Mm-hmm.
And it never arrived. And I think I'm still disappointed about that.
Wait, are you going to order pizza for dinner?
No. We have home chef. So we are having a pork dish tonight for dinner.
Okay.
But yeah, so my lunch was it ended up being leftovers, even though I went outside to forage. I did get a Starbucks coffee and then found nothing of eating value. I did not want to go and have a piece of cardboard pizza. I was looking for a nice fresh made pizza and it did not arrive. So maybe it went to a different address. Maybe someone got a
No, you said that you were calling them, they never picked up.
Yeah,
and then
Grubhub
said that they're closed.
Yeah, so I mean, you can't win. So that's why I would say that I'm low energy. If I had gotten the pizza and been able to enjoy my lunch, I would have been much happier. But anyway, here we are. I did watch
Pizza-less, and here we are.
I did watch our episode that we're going to talk about in a little while.
Did your homework?
So I did my homework, and it was good. It was good.
Yeah, I actually thought that I was expecting it to be terrible, but after watching it, I was like, okay. I did tell you that I didn't realize when I picked this episode that it was also the pain stick episode. I totally did not remember the B plot.
Oh yeah, I didn't either.
And I was like, oh, the Cleon pain sticks. This is when we were introduced.
Right. So we'll have to get into that in a little bit. But why don't we first start out and catch up on what have you been Star Trekking this week or lately, since it's been a few weeks since we've talked about this.
Has it?
But it's been a while.
I don't remember.
It's been at least 2, maybe 3 episodes.
And you people, you're all astronauts on some kind of Star Trek.
So what did you Star Trek this week, Johnson?
So I have still been going through my TNG rewatch. I have slowed down a bit because I've been doing other things. I've been reading books. I've been playing video games. However, the other day I did rewatch The Defector, which was a season 3 episode of TNG, and it was really good. As a reminder to our listeners, it is the season 3 episode where Romulan Admiral defects and tells Jean-Luc Picard and the rest of the Enterprise D crew that the Romulans are building a military base in the neutral zone as a prelude to war, something along those lines. And Captain Picard needs to decide whether or not to bring the Enterprise into the neutral zone to investigate. And it's actually it was very good. It was a little bit like it was a little bit slow in the middle because I feel that they were trying to fill it with like things, but overall I thought it was a great episode. I really enjoyed it a lot. So that's the most recent thing that I've actually Star Trek. I don't remember when we last talked about what did we Star Trek, so it's been a while, but honestly it's all been just TNG here, TNG there for the most part. I did want to talk about some Star Trek news / rumors, and it's been discussed on a few different podcasts, which is why I would like to talk about it.
Sure.
But you've probably heard about this, the whole thing where John Delancey has been talking about his appearances on Picard. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do now that you bring this up.
Yes. And basically, yeah, it's been making the rounds on the podcasts. And I thought it'd be worth exploring this a little bit. And I don't know how I feel about it. But basically, okay, so potential spoilers for our listeners if you don't want
Picard season 2.
Picard season 2, potentially season 2, season 3. So if you don't want to be spoiled, skip the next 5 minutes. But basically, the gist of it is that John Delancey has been spilling the beans on these cameos that he's been doing for random fans. That says you pay him like $100 and he'll be like, "Happy birthday, Mike," and you know whatever. But then he'll just drop like a random Picard tidbit. But basically, he said that they're recording season 2 and season 2 and season 3 back to back, which I think we kind of knew was happening. It's been
rumored. I don't, it hasn't been confirmed, but yeah.
But apparently he's going to be in both seasons. At least that's what he says. And I'm like, what? That is so weird to me. I was like, kind of like a one and done contained season 2 arc with Q. But apparently he's going to make appearances in both seasons, which is, to me, it's just really odd. Because I feel like too much Q is like, I don't know how I really feel about that.
I think
he's a character that can easily overstay his welcome. So
absolutely. And one of the things that comes immediately to mind is that Patrick Stewart said he didn't really want to go back to the well of anything that they did in Next Generation. So I think this is really interesting that this could all be diversion. This all could be, John Delancey talking out of his ass, not knowing, first of all, I don't think that a guest star is going to know the full arc of what's going to happen in season 2 and season 3. So,
I don't know how this works.
Yeah, I don't think, I wouldn't. And I also really don't pay attention too much to rumors because, I just kind of like to go into a new season or to new episodes fresh and not have any real clue on what's going to happen and just enjoy the ride for what it is.
You read all the rumors.
I actually don't anymore.
Really?
I haven't. Yeah,
I feel like you're all like knowledgeable about the rumor mill because I remember talking to you about stuff like this, and you would be ahead with like random rumors from like TrekCore or
maybe before when we first started talking about Star Trek before Picard season 1 came out, we talked a little bit more about rumors, but as far as Discovery rumors, we had nothing on Lower Decks, right? So there was no real rumors around that. Certainly, we didn't know that John Delancey was going to show up in Lower Decks. So, I think that maybe we talked a little bit about it because we had the Picard prequel comics. And then, as things were slowly like kind of leaking out about Picard season 1, but I don't think that, since then I really They really do a great job, much better than Star Wars rumors, by the way.
I mean, with
Of
those like ironclad NDAs.
Yeah, I mean, sure, there, I mean, no one's leaking anything about the potential Star Trek movie coming out in 2023. So,
It's because it might be imaginary.
well, and so I would
Like,
say that John Delancey's role in season 3 might be imaginary as well. I don't think that they're going to, unless, and I'm not starting a rumor or know anything unless, you know, John is sick or is, thinking about retiring from acting completely. And they said, well, let's get you to do this for next season now. I mean, maybe there's something in that, but who knows? I think about other shows that and audio things that I listen to, and they have, they do book out things pretty far into the future. So who knows, but also at least he's not really letting tidbits go about like what he's doing and what's going on,
right. At
So
least
that's also why I think that this is, a bunch of BS and just John Delancey creating his own like PR.
So you think it's all fake?
I don't think that, honestly. I think that the last we heard from the producers and the leaders of this show, they were still figuring out season 2. So to tell me that they've wrapped up all of
updates
season 2
are like old. They just need to give people something.
Maybe. I mean, maybe. But and the bottom line is we're never gonna know. We're not gonna know for years
until we watch. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, so season 2 is a year away, or 9 months away, probably 9 or 10 months away.
Yeah, probably.
And who knows how long season 3 will be after that?
Probably. So yeah, another year and a half.
The other rumor, while we're talking about rumors, and again, it's a rumor, not a rumor, because she did it on the official Star Trek podcast.
Where what?
Michelle Yeoh said that she doesn't really think that they're done with Emperor Georgiou.
Is that news?
But is that, I mean, people were treating that like a rumor, like, so I think part of, Star Wars fandom is much, much worse when it comes to like rumor mills and creating all of this side. There's almost like this side economy of rumor shows and things on YouTube and whatnot out there for Star Wars. There is not that for Star Trek, and I'm actually kind of glad about that. There are so many
rumor like videos on YouTube. It's like the man got fired for the 3rd time.
Those kind of Alex Kurtzman has been killed off, multiple times. Yeah,
there's so many of those. If you want to consider those rumors,
I guess I don't really pay attention to rumors anymore. I don't even, as a separate thing, I barely pay attention to any like Apple rumors, which I'm a big fan of Apple products, and I like that has a whole ecosystem all on its own.
Well, I would say the difference here is that it came from an actual cast member. It's like
a guest star, yes,
but it's also John Delancey. He is a guest star, but at the same time, he has a lot of clout in like Trek. So sure, I wouldn't be surprised if they at least gave him. Sure, he has like maybe a few scripts where he's actually in the episode.
Yeah,
I'm sure they also give him the overarching story of the season.
Yeah.
The long and short of it is that if he is in both seasons, I don't know what to think about that, and they would need to do a really good job to not disappoint me.
I would agree with that. I would agree. I think that I'm hoping that with Patrick Stewart as an executive producer, and having always said that he didn't want to redo things, I hope that this is somehow a new take on.
But they do. I mean, not to rehash our season 1 Picard discussion, but they do try to dip. They want to have their. What is it? They want to
have their cake and eat it too.
Have their cake and eat it too. I was like, what is the idiom? They want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to bring back the Borg, but not really. They want to bring back Q, but not really. They want to make Seven the Borg queen, but not really. They want to show like a big battle with a Borg cube, but not really. Like there's a bit of both, and then you get neither, and then you never come, and then you're disappointed. This is my whole issue about Picard season 1. Like, they want to try to have it both ways. So
they edge you and there's zero
yeah,
payoff.
and then you're like, what is this? I needed to finish myself off. Like, so whatever. This is like I hope this is not what what they go down, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, we've got a long wait, and
we do.
So well, there we go. Anything else from your end on what you've Star Trek lately?
No. I mean, it's just TNG. But the most recent episode was the Factor, so I specifically brought that up. I don't remember like what else I've been watching. I've been just jumping around like I have been. So, and I'm starting to run out of like the really good episodes. So I'm like, all right, let's go back to this episode or that episode. So anyway, what about you? What have you been Star Trekking?
Well, let's see. I am continuing my Enterprise renaissance, right? So I did jump back to season 2 for a few episodes, and then they are doing over on our parent podcast, the Trek Geeks are doing See It or Skip It for season 1 of Enterprise. And so I was just kind of scrolling through there the other night, and I ended up watching season 1's Shadows of Pajem, which was quite enjoyable. I really am enjoying, and I did really enjoy that episode. And
that's the first episode with Shran, right?
That's the second one. That's the previous one was something about the monastery, right? It wasn't called Pajem. The planet was called Pajem, but
it is,
the episode was not.
Okay. Okay.
So that was really enjoyable. And I went into it I haven't seen it in a very long time, obviously, but I wasn't expecting Shran to show up, and so I didn't remember that aspect of it. So that was a good thing. I think, and it's also interesting because having watched the 4th season more recently than these older episodes, seeing how the Vulcans are viewed and how they treat the humans is very, very interesting. And it if you've watched the 4th season and you see how their current leadership breaks down and T'Pau becomes T'Pau, right? T'Pau becomes the leader of the Vulcan people. And there's a shift. It actually emphasizes how controlling and
the Vulcans were totally like bigger jerks back early on, for sure.
Before season 4. So the Vulcans, so that's an interesting part of this. And there could, so that you find this other world that they're controlling, and you learn that from Shran, and you so it's fascinating, like the political ramifications, having seen it play out in season 4. So that was really enjoying. And I also this past weekend I watched Star Trek Beyond. Because you had mentioned there, we talked a little bit about how there was some Enterprise connections in there, and there certainly were. So I watched Beyond this weekend, and it's a good movie. I enjoy it. It's not a perfect movie, but
that it's such a deep cut, like that the villain was a Mako. I'm like, this is definitely
a Mako who became
baseball,
a Mako who became who is disbanded and then made captain and then lost in deep space
and then goes crazy.
So and you see how they made Sulu gay, have a gay family, which was
it was very just token.
I know. It was a couple of scenes, but or cuts and scenes, but it was just that was stood out. You get to see the memory box of Spock.
Oh my god, that was great.
And opening up the picture from Star Trek 5.
And you get like the cast shot.
Yeah, you get the
But I was like,
shot,
oh
which-
my God, my heart felt something. I remember.
Oh, did it beat finally? Your heart?
Yeah, there was like a little bit of blood going through it.
Okay.
But no, that was like, oh, tear, but not really.
Yeah, no, that was a nice touch. And then obviously at the end, you see that they dedicated the movie to Anton
Yes.
Yelchin, which who
And
died.
Leonard Nimoy.
Yes, it was something I forget what they said about Leonard Nimoy, but it was for Anton.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm actually, after watching that, I'm hopeful that Star Trek 4, the fourth, like they'll make the fourth movie in that universe, but I don't know that that's going to happen because of the kind of combination now of not Universal, of Paramount and CBS, and trying to have like one vision for Star Trek. So
let's do that. I really feel that they could have done a much better job promoting the movie, and they could have done a lot more because it kind of aligned with the 50th anniversary. So they could have really pushed that a lot more. And I just feel that really wasn't part of the messaging. They should have, I don't know, they should have done more.
If I remember
better.
Sure. If I remember
that well financially.
Yeah, if I remember Simon Pegg and Doug, I can't think of Doug's last name, who wrote it, came on late to the project and kind of pitched the story at the last minute after another script fell through, I think.
Oh, really?
So,
I don't recall this backstage
I
drama.
remember some backstage drama about that, and I guess I could listen to the 55-year or the 50-year mission book and find out more about it if I wanted to, but anyway. So and I'm looking forward to next week. A Discovery novel, Wonderlands, comes out, so I'm looking forward to that for next week, and I'm going to continue jumping around Enterprise. Seasons 1 and 2.
You should. There are definitely the episodes in season 3 you can watch.
I know. Yeah, I mean, I will. I'll get back. I'll get back there. Yeah, I eventually, I imagine. But yeah, I mean, the Xindi War arc is the Xindi War arc. It's not. Yeah, there are a few interesting episodes.
There are.
Yeah. So maybe I'll get back there eventually after I watch that. So that's what I've been Star Trekking lately.
Oh, and weren't you going to talk about the pod directive a little bit more?
Oh, yeah. Yesterday I did a 10K run during my break and listened to Tawny Newsome and Paul F. Tompkins on the pod directive, talking with two of their friends who do the Newcomers podcast, and it's really enjoyable. I am becoming an even bigger fan of Tawny.
It's a very fun podcast. I like laugh out loud.
Yeah, and her and Paul are
not that we're not funny. We are definitely funny.
All right. We have our moments. I don't know if we're that funny.
Yeah, I don't know.
These are people who have been in stand-up comedy and
I understand.
writing
Thank you.
Acting.
Yes.
We have done none of those things.
Done nothing. We're nobodies.
But yeah, it is really enjoyable, and they do make me laugh. They had a great episode we talked briefly about last week with Tawny's moms, her TV mom and her real mom, and her real mom's a huge Enterprise fan.
Yes.
So yeah, these have been really, really good. I would say these are even better than season 1. Michelle Yeoh was the first one for this season. So some really outstanding. I like what they're doing with it. It's you can go in and listen to it, and it's just an enjoyable, like you never know where they're gonna go.
Yeah.
So they're having fun with it, and I think that's the important thing. Like, I think that's one of the things that podcasting is all about. Is if you're having fun with it, that will translate either through audio or video. Thank God we don't have video.
Oh my God.
I would have tons of a little side note here as we were preparing to record. Johnson was wolfing down food, and it was like watching a 3-year-old eat, maybe a 2-year-old eat.
I was having
Um,
difficulties because I was like trying to do it quickly and I was talking to you at the same time. So it was like literally
yes,
there
it was a
food
mess.
falling out of my mouth.
It
Like,
was a disaster. But anyway,
it was a slight tobacco.
but I think that what comes across for that podcast is that they're having a great time, and I think we have a great time too. But we are too close to this. We would have to have someone who listens to this podcast regularly say, you guys seem to have fun, and we do have fun doing this. But it's clear that Tani and Paul have a great relationship.
Yes,
and they know people, and they bring up things, and they have just a wide variety of experiences. And so if you're looking for another Star Trek podcast to listen to, I would definitely recommend the Pod Directive. I think it's actually the only time that I've ever recommended the official Star Trek podcast since they took over, and it's great. So definitely add that to you.
Yeah. I used to listen to. Did you listen to the old one? I don't know.
Yeah, let's not talk about the old one because I just wanted to blow out my brains listening
What?
to that guy.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Oh my gosh, the guy was so annoying.
You're annoying.
I'm annoying.
I'm just saying. That's like
I've had.
He was annoying. I didn't think he was that annoying.
Oh god, yeah, he was. No, I actually.
I don't remember his name.
I don't either, and I don't want to.
Oh, okay. But he is like his co-host was basically like not really a big fan, so he would need to like explain stuff. I don't know if you remember this.
I don't remember that part of it. No, I have blocked out the old Star Trek podcast.
It's nice that Tony and Paul F. Tompkins both love Star Trek, but they're not. The thing I like about that particular podcast is that they aren't overly promotional. Like,
oh, not at all.
They're obviously like, yeah, we love Lower Decks, but we love, let's talk about Deep Space Nine because they love Deep Space Nine. Yeah, it doesn't need to be like all about like current gen. Because if it's an official podcast, sometimes you think they're gonna really be pushing like the current episodes, the current shows, but they don't do that, which I appreciate.
Well, the only thing that I am not liking about, I liked their first season because there were no commercials. Now they do commercials for other podcasts.
Sure.
Which is fine, but it's just not annoying. Yeah. But anyway. So, shall we move on to the next big thing that we're going to talk about?
Yeah, let's talk about the Icarus Factor.
No, not yet.
Wait. Oh, yeah, we're not talking about that yet. Yes, you're correct. I thought we were transitioning to that. You're correct.
I gotta figure this out. Wait! Okay. So, Barb's not a Dauphine, but I haven't ruled her out as a surgically altered Cardassian spy, or a transporter clone, or, bear with me, a Suliban. Right? A Suliban?
Mariner, stop it. Barb's not a Suliban.
Oh, but how do you know?
She's nothing but a great human lady. You need to stop spinning out and accept people for who they are. Now be quiet, I gotta change everything about me to trick her into thinking I'm something I'm not. Computer, analyze the coolest people in Earth history and replicate me in outfit. Boy's size small.
So we are super excited.
Take it away. You take it away. You know what's going on.
Yeah, we are super excited. We have been given the opportunity to give away some cool Star Trek products. And
swag.
Yeah. And next week, I believe on the 18th, next Tuesday, right? Yeah, next Tuesday.
Yes. Oh, I didn't know we were. Yes, next Tuesday.
Yeah, next Tuesday, season 1 of Lower Decks comes out on Blu-ray and DVD. And we are super excited. We've been chosen to give away a Blu-ray set, three Blu-ray sets of season 1 and 8 character cards for the 8 main characters on the podcast on the show.
Is going to get a copy of the Blu-ray and 8 cards. It's not we're gonna take 8 cards
and divide it about. Yeah, no, you get both. Yes. Yeah, it's great, and the cards are awesome. I mean, they're look funny. Really. We saw some. We've seen them digitally. They are really cool. So we get to give away
first
this
official giveaway.
Yes, it is.
We're legit now.
we have made it. So what do you have to do this to enter this giveaway? It's really simple. So we normally do, well, our social media manager, usually posts things late.
Correct.
But in this case, we're going to be on time. So
yes.
So this episode comes out on Friday, May the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
On Sunday, May the 16th, we are going to post an Instagram and Twitter on our social media platforms, the contest. And all you have to do is like one of those places, one of those
or
posts.
retweet if you're on Twitter.
Sure, retweet. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, like or retweet.
Like or retweet the post. You have to be a follower of ours.
Yes.
So our handles, one more time, on both of those are Deep Space Pride.
Correct.
And you have to follow us. You have to like or retweet, follow us, and tag a friend for this contest. That's it. Very, very easy. And we will randomly pick 2 winners from Instagram and 1 from Twitter to win this Blu-ray set of season 1 and the 8 art cards that go along with it. So that's all you have to do. So, and we'll also post another opportunity later in the week. So if you missed the first one on social media, you'll get to see the next one. Hopefully one of those 2, you can enter on either post and we will put you in the drawing for this amazing giveaway. And
amazing.
It's really cool. I'm excited.
All the things.
We loved season 1 of Lower Decks, and if you love physical media and you want this on your shelf, and I'm sure there are a ton of great extras and bonus features on these discs, so definitely check it out. If you aren't a winner, we do encourage you to go ahead and purchase that. There's no commission for us. We don't get anything. But
there's
the
no
links,
kickback.
There's no kickback. We are doing this because we love Star Trek.
Yeah.
And we are doing this.
And we appreciate our fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are super excited to be able to do this. So look for that on Sunday, May 16th. This episode will go live on Friday, May 14th. Mm-hmm. And and the contest will end the following Friday. So May 21st at midnight Eastern time, whatever. And we're going to pick a winner on Saturday, May 22nd. Winners. We're going to pick our winners.
Yes.
And we will send you a DM and you'll send us your name and address and all that good stuff. And we will get.
And then we'll stalk you.
No, we will
where you
not.
Live
we will not. We will send you this amazing gift. So we are excited about this, and look out for that next week. All right. It's coming. There we go. Giveaway number 1 for Deep Space Pride. Yay.
Yes, legit.
All right. Now
we can talk about the Icarus Factor.
What is it now?
You can't do that.
What?
Hachidan Karitsu, it's illegal.
You're kidding.
All these years. That's why I never won. You were cheating.
It worked, didn't it? Kept you coming back for more.
Incredible. You cheated me. How'd you get away with it?
You were just a kid. By the time you were 12 years old, I knew I couldn't take it, but I had to keep you interested. I had to keep you challenged, didn't I?
I always hated you for that.
Damn it, Will! You were barely out of diapers when she died. You hardly knew her. I'd loved her. Of course you carried the pain. So did I. I should have explained this to you a long time ago, but it hurt too much. Then the wall grew up between us. And living there, you and me, the wall got bigger. You know, it's funny. I can talk to a whole room full of admirals about anything in the galaxy. But I can't talk to you about how I feel.
How do you feel?
How do you think? I love you, son.
Apparently, I was so excited to talk about this that I just skipped ahead.
So you skipped ahead.
Yeah.
So here we go. Let's deep dive into an underappreciated season 2 episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah, so I picked this episode because of the Lower Decks season 2 trailer, where obviously there are a bunch of different Easter eggs, as is the case when it comes to Lower Decks. But there is this one scene where Mariner is dressed up in this ridiculous like outfit. I guess it's an outfit. It's like a karate outfit. And it is a reference to the Icarus Factor, where Will Riker and Kyle Riker, his dad, engage in an Anbo Jutsu match to kind of work out their differences. So this is a deep cut because it only appears in this one episode. We never see this get up ever again. But you know what? That is what Mike Mann's all about. He's all about these like random deep cuts. He's not afraid of inside baseball. And he's like, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, it's fine. So this is what inspired us to pick the Icarus Factor as our episode 2 of this particular series. So yeah, Mike, what did you think? I actually thought that, I was ready to like have all the complaints in all the notes. And I actually thought that this was a decent episode. What did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was an enjoyable episode. I do have a few points that were a little more that stood out to me
I have
as
like
annoying.
notes, but it's not the litany. I did not like complain in real time to you about this episode. It's not the litany that I had for Heart of Glory. Okay.
Correct.
So if we use that as the baseline, that's
the baseline. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's having watched season 1, the Heart of Glory last week, and then seeing how it's moved, how the cast and crew have kind of come together in season 2. It's an interesting, and everyone has a part in this episode. This was like all hands on deck. Everybody.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
There's like, the A plot, the B plot. I was like, I forgot about the pain sticks. It was like, there's a lot.
Yeah, actually, yeah. And I didn't remember where they were going. So I was with the B plot. I had no idea where, it was obvious.
It took me a second, and I was like, I remember now.
Obviously, you knew where the A plot was going to, that jujitsu match.
And
Bujitsu.
Yes.
You knew that was the climax of the A plot. But the B plot, I had no idea where this was going. But I will tell you right off the bat, when the B plot started to happen, I was like, okay, Worf just bit off Wesley's head. Wesley was being annoying. I was probably going to bite off his head too if I was having
he was like very
day.
Pestering. Yeah,
he was
like buzzing around like a fly. I was like, why is this happening?
Right. Yeah. And I am not a Wesley hater. I really do like Wesley.
I
because
don't mind Wesley.
But I really liked him watching the show growing up because he and I were very close in age. So it was sort of like I was on the Enterprise living vicariously
through Will Wheaton. Okay.
Yes, I was. However, in this episode, man, it just, his voice came off really whiny. It was just like being super nosy as a teenager, like poking it, like it was great.
But he figured it out. He
did figure it out. Yes.
Dug deep enough, and
he did dig.
Yeah, he helped Worf in the end.
But also the B plot was enjoyable from the like Data Geordi perspective as well. You get to see their friendship. You get to see them going back and forth. Like, no, Wesley needs to handle this. No, we should help him out. Like this back and forth, and also the drama that was going on in engineering with a glitch in the readings.
There was a little random shit going on.
Yeah. So there's that going on. Then to go back to the A plot, totally forgot that this was all about offering Will I don't even know if this is
remember that at all. It's been, I think, decades since I've seen this episode.
Yeah. But offering Will his first command, I think. Maybe he's been offered command before. I'm not sure.
I think so.
This is the first of three commands he's offered before Best of Both Worlds.
You are correct.
So that was I forgot about that aspect of it. I thought that it was I thought that he and Deanna's interaction was interesting. She was kind of trying to cold and distance, and then they had this sweet little moment where it did matter. Her feelings did matter, and they hug, and so there was that. The other interesting part of the A plot was Kate
Pulaski.
Kate and what was his father's name? I can't remember. Kate and Kyle, little smoldering,
I did not remember that.
Smoldering action there. I didn't remember that either.
I remember it, and I was like, this is awkward. And then Will was like, you never bothered to say anything.
Exactly.
And she was like, it wasn't a secret, it just never came up. I was like, oh my God, this is
of course it would come up. Like, why wouldn't it come up? Like, oh, I know your dad. I used to sleep with him. Like, come on,
I don't know. Well, she's kind of like, I don't know, like Catherine Pulaski is kind of like this like interesting character where you never like find out that much about her. She's kind of like Mum, but she also has like just only one season. So it's not like, it's not like we get to learn that much about her, but the thing is like she doesn't like to spill all the secrets. She's not like she's not one to put her heart on her sleeve and just like share everything. You kind of like need to like be in the right moment with her. So I don't know, but I just thought that was awkward. I was like, oh my God, like this is weird.
Yeah. And just to see them,
it was interesting. It was an interesting twist.
Yeah, it was definitely. Yeah. I thought, and this was, all hands on deck. You get to see Chief O'Brien and Will having a drink, which was kind of cool. You get to, so it was really
everyone has a little bit of something to do, I guess.
Everyone does. So yeah, it was just enjoyable. And then going back to the B plot, the pain sticks part of this was really fascinating too. And I really enjoyed the kind of like, where are you taking me, counselor? Like he was super grouchy, and like,
he was grouchy. Yes, he was not. He didn't want to be there. Because I totally forgot. So it took me a while to remember where this was going. And you remember when Worf was to Riker, like, take me with you. I was like, what? Where is this going? Like, but then like I still don't really understand why Worf wanted that, like a transfer, other than just kind of like get a change of pace. I guess I don't know.
He wanted battle, right? He like this whole, I think the part about being a warrior and becoming the Age of Ascension was kind of on his mind, but he also, wanted something to do that was more Klingon, I guess. A little bit more Klingon-esque. I thought that was interesting, him wanting to leave, but I also,
it's not like he's entering a war zone. They're going into just like uncharted territory. But
right.
I guess there's more chance for there to be a firefight there than, in Federation space.
On the flagship of the Federation, not clearly a battleship of any sort. So we don't learn anything about the Ares or what kind of ship it is or anything like that. So, but yeah, it's, there was a lot for every character. There was a little bit for every character to do. There was a lot of interaction. There was a lot of motion around them with the engineering thing, with, the kind of the views of Kyle and Catherine talking. There's just a lot around this episode, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was good. I do think that obviously the majority of A plot is Will Riker giving his dad the cold shoulder, and they barely interact. Like most of the episodes of them like not talking, and then they do this whole Enbo Jutsu match, and it gets resolved very quickly. Like they and this is very Star Trek, very procedural, where it's like, oh, we resolved the issues. Like this is like in real life, this would be like a 5-hour conversation. You unpack it. Versus literally it was resolved in like 5 minutes and they hug. I was just like, that's a lot. Like it's a lot of angst to kind of just somewhat get over. And then we never see Kyle Riker ever again. So I just
right.
There was a lot. I feel like they spent too much time building up like the angst and then not enough time like unpacking the anger that's there and like actually finding some sort of resolution. But that is very like just TV drama, like, you know, procedural TV drama. It's like fast and quick and easy and clean, you know. And by the end of the episode, everyone's happy. And I'm actually not transferring. We're good, you know. So it's fine. Everything kind of just resets. But
yeah, by the end of there is sort of a reset at the end. You're right.
Yeah. I just thought that like for all the buildup, it just got resolved just pretty fast.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, but there was enough of a buildup to make it feel legitimate. Like it wasn't a small grievance that could be easily resolved.
Yes.
I think there was enough.
And then it got resolved. They spent too little time resolving it. Like,
yeah, but you learn pieces of it through other conversations. So Catherine and Kyle talking, you know, Deanna and Kyle talking, you know, so all of these like pieces that you learn.
There are a lot of interactions. It's like a lot of
and you know, part of it too is that this mission that he was going to go on was dangerous.
Correct.
So there was sort of this fatherly guilt, I guess, for lack of a better word, to kind of resolve this in case Will goes off into the frontier and as captain and the air race is destroyed. I don't know, like just seems kind of weird. So but yeah, I think it was a good overall episode. Yeah, I think an episode I certainly haven't watched in a long time. But enjoyable and still relevant, like nothing too annoying other than Wesley's nosiness and like high-pitched voice and like get the kid out of, you know, I know he's an acting ensign and whatnot, but get the kid out of engineering, you know, like there's so much going on and he's down in engineering, like talking to Data and LaForge about Worf. It's just, you know, it's kind of it's gossipy. It's kind of gossipy, and I don't really like that in anything. But so it's that.
Oh, and then remember, like he tells Chief O'Brien that they're doing this thing for Worf, and it's like in the middle of engineering, and he's like, "It's a surprise," and I was like, "There's like 10 people around, and none of them are invited to this." It's like so awkward.
Yeah, like keeping a secret on a big starship like that is
a secret. Like, whatever.
Well, I think it being a secret, Worf's not going to talk to anybody, so he's not going to hear anything. So in this case,
wait, how did Data put it? You have given up the will to be social, or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't remember his line.
Oh yeah, it was so awkward when he went over and approached Worf and looking out the 10 forward windows, and it was super awkward, and like Data taps him on the shoulder and like it was clear. I think that was a really good scene of how Data is sort of inept around some social cues still.
Inept.
But yeah, a lot to enjoy. I would definitely recommend people watch it it's a great TNG episode, actually.
Yeah.
It really is. It highlights everyone in the cast, gives you a little history on Riker, gives you a little history on Worf, gives you some Klingon pain sticks, and, again, building out that Klingon tradition and that backstory, a little bit of world building there. It would have been nice to have learned a little bit more about, again, in world building, like, and kind of building out the Federation and what this area that Will would have been going into as captain of the Ares. It would have been interesting to learn a little bit more about what's going on and like actually have Kyle do a debriefing with Will, on the sector and give you like the layout of the land.
That was just the springboard to the drama.
No, I know. But again, when I'm thinking about world building, like these are the sorts of things to compare it to another show. Babylon 5 would build out that conflict and tell you what's out there. Whereas Star Trek really doesn't do that. You don't kind of get the lay of the land. You get the major powers, and then suddenly you're thrown into this. You learn about the Cardassians in season 4 or 5,
Yeah. And, oh, yeah. Speaking of that, because I've been rewatching, because there's like they talk about the Cardassian Federation War,
yeah,
and I was like, when did this happen?
right.
And it's very unclear to me because I was like, did I miss an episode? Like, where they really talk about it, or where there's a battle? There's nothing.
No,
Like,
there's
they
nothing.
talk about it and just like it happened, and I was like, when did this happen? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, again, these are sort of the strings that they pull and never really attach it to anything. They just kind of throw it out there, and I think it's partly because they jumped ahead 100 years from Kirk's time, or 80 years, so they had that. Oh yeah, it probably happened for like 18 months and 2350 or whatever. I don't know. It's probably, actually, there probably is a book about it. And that there's these last year's books that they did.
Memory alpha entry.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So that's my only takeaway would be, it would have been nice to hear a little bit about this sector and what's going on out there, but we did not.
No, I didn't mind that because, again, to me it was just kind of like, oh, it's just like it's just the catalyst for Will and Kyle to kind of duke it out.
And
or
exactly
Will to ignore Kyle for like 3/4 of the episode.
Yeah, exactly. So great. Anything else you'd like to add about the Icarus Factor?
I hope that I mentioned this year, I hope that in Lower Decks they say all the Japanese phrases as well.
Oh yeah, that was good, right?
In the bowing. Like, they better do all that. I want all of it, otherwise I'm setting my TV on fire.
Yeah, you want all of that?
Yes, all of it. I need everything. And yeah, hopefully we do. Hopefully we get that. So that's my hope.
There we go. Well, I hope so too. Well, cool. Well, there we have it. This week's
short episode. It hasn't even been an hour yet.
Oh, right. Well, that's okay. We need to give our fans a little bit of a break.
Usually it's at least an hour and 20 minutes. So
I know. Right. Well, that's okay. Well, before we go, I do want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Fansets.
Yes, Fansets. That's right.
And actually, this coming Saturday, May 15th, they have 4 new pins coming out. So we have the Pinmoji Beckett Mariner from Lower Decks. We have the Pinmoji Captain Pike from Strange New Worlds. We have Trelane, so a micro figure of Trelane. And also a micro figure of Narissa from Picard, which can't stand that bitch.
Everyone's going to get that one.
I cannot stand Narissa at all. I'm going to be super disappointed. Another thing
I did not like about Picard season 1, if she didn't really die, if she comes back, I'll be so annoyed.
I will be too. Yes, I can't stand her.
Because you come on, her actually die. I'm like, oh, fuck. Like,
of course not. Yeah,
I don't want this. I don't want this in my life.
Yeah, no. I mean, the actress did a wonderful job, but the character,
it wasn't her fault. It was just like the character was not.
Yeah,
she was annoying. She was very one-dimensional, one-dimensional,
kind of like the Commodore
villain,
sort of Commodore.
Yeah, also kind of annoying.
Yeah, with her Ray-Ban sunglasses. But anyway, getting back to Fansets. So that's what's coming out. Getting back to Fansets. Yes. So back to Fansets. Those are coming out this Saturday, May 15th. And if you go to fansets.com and put a bunch of pins, including these, on May 15th or after, if you put $30 or more of pins in your cart, you will get free shipping in the US. But on top of that, if you add the code DS Pride at checkout,
it took you a minute, it took you a second to be like, what is the code?
It did take me a second. DS Pride, all caps, you'll get 10% off your order. And so go over there, give Fansets some love. They are, a small business, and we are supremely grateful for their support of Deep Space Pride and the Trek Geeks podcast network.
Yes, Fansets. More.
So that's the end of this episode of Deep Space Pride, everyone. Johnson, how can people follow us, especially for the aforementioned contest giveaway coming out this Sunday.
Yeah, well, people can email us, but don't do that for the purpose of the contest, or rather the giveaway. It's not a contest, it's a giveaway. Don't email us because that's not going to do anything. But if you want to email us, you can email us at deepspacepride@gmail.com, or you can reach us on social, on Twitter and Instagram at Deep Space Pride. But that's it. And then next week, we are going to be jumping to season 3 of The Next Generation, and we will be watching Tin Man.
Tin Man, yeah.
I did enjoy because it is one of the episodes I recently rewatched. I would say that it is legitimately an underrated episode. It is not The Offspring, which is not underrated. It is that had like a legacy to it,
right? Yes,
that had consequences.
This one did not.
Versus Tin Man, which it's a Carl Riker. We never go back to it. So
yes.
But there is a little bit of world building in it that's interesting, and it's almost kind of like a self-contained kind of like character study of sorts. So anyway,
cool.
That is what we are going to be discussing next week.
Great, and next week we'll pitch the contest. The / giveaway, you'll have just one day to enter at that point, but follow us on social, and we'd love to have as many entries as possible into this contest because we are super excited about giving away.
And we want followers.
Yes, we want people to interact with and tell us what you are Star Trekking and what you think about these episodes that we're going through season by season. So thanks everybody for listening. We appreciate you, and we'll be back here again next week talking about more underappreciated episodes of The Next Generation and Tin Man.
Yes, we will. Excited. I'm excited.
Contain yourself, really.
Yes, I know. I have all the feelings about our next recording.
Okay. Well, thanks everyone. We'll talk to you again next week.
Bye everyone.
Deep Space Pride is a production of Coconut Media Works. Executive producers Bill Smith and Dan Davidson. For more great Star Trek discussion, discover the other shows of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network at trekgeeks.com, or find us in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app.
Coconut.